So good! La 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 la. What are you smoking? Tell me! Swear to God, I must go get my brain checked. A fuck ton of light. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. I literally just got out of the gym, if you don't believe me. I still got my training pants on. As you may know, as a content creator, having a quiet home is a godsend. And currently I have about 40 minutes left before people come home again. And so I need to record this now. That being said, welcome to another episode of Ryan Reacts. Just in case you're new here, I'm an editor, full-time content creator, which means I deal with editing content every fucking day. And in order to keep myself inspired and in order to keep myself continuously learning, I watch content from people who make amazing shit. This week, we've got 3 new videos. One video which was sent in by one of my followers and the other 2 which Sophia selected at random in order for me to break down with you. Apparently, she said that one of them is gonna be particularly challenging this week, and that's what we like to hear. So, if at some point throughout this video you catch yourself thinking, I'm kinda enjoying this, do consider smashing that subscribe button, because it kinda helps. And with that being said, let's dive into today's episode. POV, you make experimental content.
Do you feel it too?
Experimental indeed. Hallelujah, what the fuck? Like, also genius hook, by the way, to have yourself sort of this unedited hook makes you intrigued of like, and the word experimental obviously automatically makes you like, oh, what's coming now? Fucking hell. Let's break this down. This, what the fuck is this? How the f has he done that? Okay, so at least it's 3 different match cuts, I think, of the same guy. And by the looks of it, the effect that he's used, if we look at just the image of the guy, because it slightly morphs, I think this is a morph cut on the image. So there's 3 kind of pictures of this guy's face, and then as they transition, probably has an adjustment layer on top, and then you add the morph cut effect. That's gonna create this like morphing into it. And then there's these flower things that's over the top. That's wild. No fucking clue what that is, but very sick. So here, similar to the invert effect, except this time he's played with the blend mode, and by the looks of it, he's used the extraction blend mode. In general, playing around with the blend mode, if you're trying to create strange, weird, different effects, super tip to really easily switch things up. This is crazy. This is a crazy shot. Bro, how the fuck have you done that? How on earth? They're also floating. See that? That's insane. How? I'm gonna make a guess, but I could be incredibly wrong on this. I think, or well, the first shot is just him standing here looking over the sea. And the second shot that's layered on top is where he's grabbed a bunch of bricks, probably with him not in screen, thrown them up, but filmed in slow-mo at like 120 frames per second to be able to slow that down. And then I would say rotoscoped these 2 stones here out and the rest just as is. That's a wild guess though. Bro, how the fuck you do this? Tell me, how did you do this? This is also wild. This is crazy. Guy, you also gotta be on some next level shrooms to think of this, my guy. What are you smoking? Okay, no, all jokes aside, I think this is relatively easy. I'm gonna try to show you. Where's my door? There's my door. Right, so this is kind of similar to the shot he has. Imagine the door's like this. My guy's standing here. Right, he's looking all depressed and stuff. What he's gonna do is he has a light here that is creating this flash effect to replicate thunder, right? And then depressed, light, blah, 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 right? Then, my guy does the following. He has this, maybe he filmed this shot himself, maybe he found B-roll of thunder being slowed down, and he's put that as the second layer in Premiere Pro and the door layer on top. And then what he's just done is either used opacity, yeah, probably opacity, created a mask in the door frame, and then you can see the file that you have underneath behind it, and that's how you get this effect. Genius. Cool, moving on. Jesus, we're only at 10 seconds. Come on. Okay, so this is also such a useful effect. Like the eyes, because you naturally are drawn to the eyes, that's the first place you look. And so when you hide the eyes, there's a lot of like emotion that gets missed, and it's so strange to our brain that it instantly captures the attention. I think it's why Ali Abdaal kind of used this in his editing, and that particular type of editing then went completely nuts. Now everyone's doing that. What's it called again? Like pilometric editing or something like this. So then here on half, he's made 2 layers, probably cropped the top one for half of his face, and then on sort of the half that's left, you add these glitch effects. This could be an overlay, it could also just be the effects that he's used in Premiere Pro. You can do like VR digital glitch. That's also crazy, man. That's insane. Like, it comes back to those shrooms you're smoking, bro. Fucking hell. Boy, this is why I love content. This is why I love, and this is why I can do this every week, because people are just nuts. I love it. So this effect is also something I've been seeing a lot more of. I think you call that, or you see it in a lot of hip hop videos at least, whereby people come into stop motion style, cut into frame. So here, the picture on top of the paper now is just video of this guy, right? And what you do is you set an opacity mask around the guy. It's not even super tight. But anyway, you put an opacity mask around this guy. Basically, you trace the outside of his body and face until you have a complete mask. And then you add keyframes to the position of this face and body and have it fly in from the left like this. Whenever you fly anything in, I'd recommend using the transform effect, because you can add sort of motion blur by adapting the shutter angle and ticking off the composition check mark there. And this will naturally give it a bit of motion blur rather than needing to add fast blur and then needing to add automations on how you want the blur to appear and stuff. It's a bit quicker. My guy, what? This is insane. Like I have no fucking idea where to begin with that. How do you even get the eye to be on your hand like that, my guy? It looks so real. Ugh. Oh, so good. My guy. What a video. It's rare and refreshing to see this level of experimentation go into one video. Very well done. Please, please, please make more. I would love to break down. And my guy, if you happen to be watching this and you want to come and explain how you did it, send me DM, we'll set it up. The next video. This was the video, follower of mine. I'm sorry I forgot your name. I swear to God, I must go get my brain checked. And so, let me explain how he did it, or how I think they did it. So good! A lot of this is honestly something which you'll have to shoot on the day. A trick that I recently came across is when you're filming and you're filming in different locations, kind of shaking your camera around and at random, like not necessarily with a plan, but just kind of shake in certain motion. I know they filmed in the same location here, but I'm getting to the point. Helps you to add in transitions, to make transitions smoother. Now, getting back to this video. There's a lot there in the first 2 seconds. Okay, first shot is kind of easy. It's on the back. It's important for this particular ad because you right away understand it's a it's a car promotion for the Seat Cupra. Context is, in that sense, everything when creating their stories, and giving people right away the idea of where it is that they, or what it is that they're watching, helps people to be invested. And those who are not, scroll on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this segment is all one shot with different lighting in the backgrounds. So the first one, there's only a small shot that kind of provides the outline of the car. There's like a yellow light here being shined at the other side of the door, right? It's very soft. It's only to kind of show the outline of the body of the car. It's interesting whenever you film someone and then there's an overpowering amount of light behind it, as in more than this. You need like a fuck ton of light. That's when you're gonna create the shadow effect by filming into the light. Sometimes you can do this with the sun if you're filming outside, for example, by shooting from a low angle if the sun is already at like the golden hour times. So in the morning or in the evening. Then the next shot. So this shot is the top shot is a different shot to the bottom shot because there's completely different lighting. And then you basically have the two shots on top of each other, and the bottom one has a crop to the left and the top one has a crop to the right. Just in case that may be confusing, they're still the same length in Premiere Pro, it's just one has the crop in the middle, right? It's not that one shot starts later. I hope that makes sense. And then yeah, here they've literally just changed the lighting, and there's also a slight blur on the car itself. This here is at least shadow, but how have they done that? I think this is, but that would be in Photoshop. Maybe they did that in Photoshop. I'm at least not aware if you can do this in Premiere Pro, but there's an effect whereby you can kind of looks like you pull apart a picture and have this like fade in. It kind of looks here like they did that. If we ignore the blur for a sec, even just having the crops and then playing with the lighting to get a completely different shot will already make a massive impact. Also here, it's the same strategy, right? You kind of see it. Like the car just stays in one spot and you just kind of light different areas and light the room in different ways in order to give a completely different vibe about the type of, how do I explain this? By playing with just the lighting, not moving the car, not doing anything crazy, you give this like this glitch effect, this level of diversity. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is that sometimes it's not about motion and movement and craziness, it's actually about playing with simple things in order to create the kind of effect, the weird sort of dark effect that you want. In other words, just change your lights, don't add movement necessarily if you're trying to create something like this. And then here everything is lit up in the back, as you can see. Cool. So I think this part is just this shot, and then this shot is the same shot zoomed in a bit. And then this shot, I don't know how they get that blurry effect. Or well, it looks almost like it's just a completely different shot with the lights on from the car. And then have the opacity of it down to like 10% maybe. And then there's a Gaussian blur over that shot. And they've now keyframed the car shot to move slightly. It's literally just a video of the car being turned on and the lights coming on. That's on an opacity at like 10%. And then there's a Gaussian blur over that to create the blurry feeling, to give that halation. Then we move on to the shot of like the car light. Like it just works. Here. This is also cool. This is cool. Super. So here we have shot with the yellow light again, and this effect again, it's simple but it's so effective. There's a layer on top, and maybe it's different layers, so one is like black, one is with the lights on, then one is black again, and one is with the lights on, la 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 la. And those layers, it's just a layer on top, and this is being cropped, but not keyframed. You move 2 frames forward, you set a new crop. You move 2 frames forward, you set a new crop. And then you get that effect. Genius. think this is what my guy was meaning. I think honestly they just in the post play here with a second clip here, because you kind of see the outline of a second clip that again just has a blur keyframed on it, kind of like here. Or I mean, the rest of this video consists of just beautifully taken shots, and that is obviously the key to making this work. I think the main point that I take away from this video is sometimes simplicity is key. You don't necessarily need to have crazy motion, fast, and all that crazy stuff that most people have. Sometimes just letting the shots do the talking and adding deep sound effects and some calm music will make the point. Great video, man. Thanks for sending it in. Definitely some cool stuff for me to try out in my upcoming vlogs. On to the last video. I love cinematography. Whoa. This shot, also dope. The doors themselves are fake. Sick. Fucking sick. I'm not really sure how or where he got these shots, but in terms of how the effect is done, this here looks like the original shot. So the kind of the wall and the circle. This here looks like it's being cropped out, and as the camera moves in, there's a keyframe on the crop. There is a keyframe on the crop that kind of cuts out like this, and then we move in to show the door, and you continue in the movement of what the guy filmed, right? Then we go on to the next one, and this time the door actually. It's an actual door that opens, but the shot behind it is not. So here, again, you put crops on the outside of the doors and keyframe it to appear as the shot behind it is coming through. Simple, but class. I didn't say that one yet this week. Class! The grading on this one slaps as well. So this part is interesting. I've seen this a lot more and people think it's super difficult. It's not. Basically, you put the camera that you're filming on, increase the shutter angle, and that's going to create this blur because there's more light coming into the camera. And therewith things, it's basically open for longer, and then it takes a picture for longer. And as you move, those pictures get blurred, and right? And that's how you create this effect. And it works especially well in the next shot, whereby there's movement. So like here, where the bus comes in, this was just filmed at a high shutter angle rate. And because of that, it looks super sick, super slick. Those are things which on your phone get a lot trickier to do. There are apps that you can download for your phone to like control the settings. Beastcam is a good one. They're like $2.99 per year, I think. I've used those. There you can control these settings in your phone if that's something you're interested in, but it's probably gonna be better on a camera. Final thing about this video, because it was just golden, is make sure to edit the video to the music. The fact that this guy makes cuts when the beats of the song hits is what really drives it home. And that's sort of the final point that I take away from this. And with that being said, I'm gonna have to conclude this because I'm no longer home alone. I wanna thank you guys for watching. As always, I love doing these things. And so, if you enjoyed this as well, consider smashing that subscribe button, and I'll see ya in the next one. Bye.